Dr. Jimmy, I am so excited to talk with you today. There's a lot we have to cover here on the financial services and how AI and technology is disrupting this industry. So before we get started,
Dr. Jimmy, I am so excited to talk with you today.
I don't know if that's your computer or my computer that's responding to me. I got a little feedback there, and it might have been my own computer because I wanted to make sure we were going live. I'm not seeing it on LinkedIn just yet, but I know we're going live on YouTube. So
Okay.
I just need to refresh on. This is the wonderful world of technology, right? Oh, we are on live on LinkedIn as well. Okay, so we're going to have some of our friends join us as well. Okay, so I'm glad that those technical hiccups started before we get into the nitty gritty. So Dr. Jimmy, welcome to this LinkedIn Live. And I want to do a little bit of a bio and introduction so that people who don't know you already, and of course, I think everybody knows you. You are the guru and a good friend of mine. And so we're going to be obviously discussing the impact and the power that AI and technology has in the financial services industry and how professionals can actually leverage these technological advancements to grow their business. So thank you for joining me, Dr. Jimmy. So Dr. Jimmy is a consulting expert with a doctorate in organizational leadership. He brings a wealth of experience across finance, IT, and the public sector to empower organizations to achieve their full potential. And through this work with top executives, he delivers actionable insights and tools that drive innovation, inspire passionate leadership, and foster motivated teams to navigate today's disruptive business landscape. In the past, Dr. Jimmy has been a senior president at the Bank of America, and in his current role is the president of Global Compass, where he specializes, as I mentioned, in helping managers and executives lead with purpose, emotional intelligence, and adaptability so they can drive meaningful change. And so thank you for joining me, Dr. Jimmy, today.
It's a pleasure.
This is so exciting for me because, as you know, I am also a passionate follower of all things AI and technology, and your insights on this, I know, is going to be so meaningful for a whole host of people. So start telling me a little bit about your current role and how you have been involved in financial services and technology. So all of this marries up together. So tell me a little bit more about, or tell everybody more about you and how you got involved in this industry.
So Leslie, it is a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to join you for us to work together on this. I am very excited about this morning, and I'm loving it. Leslie, it is my professional path began as a bank teller, and it's a role that unexpectedly set me on a remarkable journey, which at the time I did not even know. So when I go back in retrospect and see myself selling bank products, savings accounts, checking accounts, credit accounts, all those things, and also guiding families through financial planning, I climbed the ranks eventually, transitioned to the world of technology. So I started in the financial center and then make my way into the financial technology, starting from the back again. I worked my way up to become a lead strategist in innovation and governance. Now, that's the path that led me to pursue my doctorate degree. After getting my bachelor in computer science, my master in computer information system, my master in business administration, and I put all of it together with my doctorate and organizational leadership, and really helped me understand the significance of my experiences. I had unknowingly forged a career in both finance and technology, a realization that positioned me uniquely within the emerging field of fintech, finance, and technology. So today, I am very excited. Part of my beyond my specific responsibilities as a chief technology officer, I am I, I aim to use my knowledge and experience to empower other people, to inspire them, with the latest advancement, the latest knowledge, and encourage people to embrace bold and transformative action. So you have technology, you have finance, and you have the public sector, and I believe it's a great combination to really help our world.
It's amazing. I don't know how you have all the time in the day. I swear, because I know you have, you're very passionate about being a great dad and a great husband, a great, like all your family life stuff. We meet speaking at all sorts of different events and things like that. Where do you have the time to do all of this, to get your bachelor, your master's, and then get into your doctorate? I don't know how you do it all, but somehow you make it all work. So you're an inspiration for sure. So some of the technology, and especially we're hearing the buzz about artificial intelligence, the chat GPTs, the perplexity, the Claudes. So how do you think this technology is going to how is it disrupting the financial services industry now? And where do you think we're going to go in the future?
Well, that's an amazing question. And I believe there are two components of it. When, in my experience with AI in the financial industry, doing my doctorate in research, what I've discovered, the financial industry is really playing catch up, comparing, for instance, to the music industry, to the business, and also to the entertainment industry. Remember, banks are basically just places where you can add your cash. The really real definition, simple definition of a bank is an entity that is here to collect your money. But they've branched into loans and investments. So now you also have other companies stepping onto their toes in those areas. If you think about it, if you take deposits, that's where you make your checking and savings deposit. Those are usually federally insured, but you have investments and you have lending. They are not. So you have all those little financial companies setting into the area to do lending and also investments. Now, for deposits, you don't have too many startups getting into deposit because it's heavily regulated. But you do have some other companies partner with banks so that they can provide lending, so that they can provide deposit accounts. And that's where AI comes in. It's going to supercharge the lending in the investment side of the ledger, pun intended. Even though some fintech startup, as I mentioned, like I know they are American Express or some other companies are providing deposits, but they don't have branches. You have to email pretty much, not email. You have to mail in your checks. Although you can take pictures of your checks these days. So AI and tech are shaking up the finance industry in a big way. We're talking about less paperwork and more efficiency thanks to automation. You're also talking about the AI powered chatbots that you can chat with the AI to really get your banking needs done. And that's going to become your next best friend. You have now 24/7 financial advice. You have fancy data analysis that will help companies or banks make smarter decisions and keep your money safe from scammers. You'll also have AI that will tailor financial products that can tell you when you're going to retire. Now, the front end, the chat GPT, the cloud, the perplexity, and most of those elements will be on the front end for the knowledge workers. And many banks, the last I checked, as of last month, as of last December, they were blocking all those for the knowledge workers. And the reason for that, although AI brings so many automation aspects into the industry, there are some heavy risks as well to let an AI engine into a bank environment without controlling what's in the black box that many of us know. We don't know how these language models give us the things that we have, right? We just type a question and then gives you the answer. So in the back end, AI is really disrupting the financial industry. In the front end, I would say they are still lagging behind a little, being very cautious to embrace the application of all those large language models.
That's a lot. So there's a lot of disruption happening in a compliance-based industry as well. So we know that compliance is, as you said, there's so much risk, and hence why financial services are blocking those kinds of tools for the employees, because of course, and we're going to caution, both you and I are both going to say, never upload anything into these chatbots that could be private information, data sources, any of that other stuff. I mean, there's no doubt, because we're in the Wild West, right, of data management to a certain extent, right? So we have a question here from Jeffrey, who's asking about supercharging lending. Is that how AI will disrupt financial services? What does this mean? Will everybody know how much credit they have access to?
Yeah, when it comes to the lending industry, you have loans are getting approved faster. That is a given. You can, and I have personally done it. You can apply for a loan, and I am sharing my experience over a weekend. Meaning, on a Friday, I submitted an application. By Saturday, I was already approved. By Monday, I get the fund automatically on my account. So I can only wonder if I had done it on a Monday, which is a business day, because I'm pretty sure, although the AI provide some type of automation for the approval and all that, you still need to have an underwriter to review it. Now, AI-powered algorithms will quickly analyze somebody's financial data, assess your credit worthiness, and also making the whole process, the whole loan process, very smoother. I mean, it will go smoother, and also it's going to be less stressful. And I believe some credit card companies these days, they're able to tell you if you're approved for a credit card, if you're approved for a loan, and without even touching your credit report. Another element that I've seen to work so well, and this is going to revolutionize the lending industry. It's what we call peer-to-peer lending and crowdfunding platforms. Those will continue to disrupt traditional lending models by connecting borrowers directly with lenders. If you think about it, as banks have such a heavy power of deposits, they take that deposit to lend money and make money of the interest. Now think about it. If I don't need to talk to a bank, I can go straight to another small firm lender, to other people, and then get my money. So I don't need to talk to the bank anymore. So I believe this is what is going to really disrupt the banking industry. Traditional bank itself, which has to do with deposit accounts, will still remain strong. I strongly believe in that. The major impact may be less branches for people to go in. When it comes to lending, when it comes to investments, we have not seen anything yet.
Okay, that's great. And so that's from the consumer standpoint. So how do you think that financials in the professional services industry, how, like, a lot of financial advisors and so forth, I mean, a lot of them are, again, the organizations are sort of reluctant to have them use any of these AI tools like ChatGPT, but how can maybe financial professionals use technology in order to make their processes, streamline their processes, whether it's marketing, sales, just administration? Are there tools out there that they can use to help them that are, allowed in the compliance-based industry where change isn't always welcomed?
Yeah, it is going to be challenging. In the back end, as speaking on my chief technology officer hat on, I would not want anybody to go out there to adventure themselves and play with tools that they do not know, and they do not know what's inside of those tools. In the back end, it's going to be heavy, and companies, banks, small banks can definitely control that. On the front end, I would say it's going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging. What I would recommend financial advisors and bankers to do is really understand how the tool works. Understand artificial intelligence, large language models, and understand chatbots. These days, I believe Bank of America has Erica as one of their chatbots and virtual assistants that can connect with the customer, begin a conversation, and transfer that customer to an agent to do more complex tasks, and then after that, pick up the conversation from the agent and finish it with the customer. So you have what I call the AI plus the human, and go back to the AI. Now, just some clarification. We are talking about narrow AI. We're not talking about general AI or super AI that is coming, where people are going to be more people do more people work, where the AI will do more of the things that we can automate, that we can do on the repetitive things. So they are, as a banker, as an advisor, I would say you probably need to understand those. So there are other elements back-end knowledge workers can use. Robotic process automation. Understand the tasks that you do on every single day. There are tools that are very safe when it comes to RPA that you can leverage to do the things that you do on a continuous basis. You have digital onboarding. Organization can leverage those to onboard new clients, expedite account openings. I would say the other elements that they can leverage from the back end is really how can I provide clients information faster for my banker so that as a banker, I don't have to go to five system to really get the profile of a client, the profile of a customer. All the backend systems can do that for me. However, there is still to be some, I would say, responsibility and in terms of learning, expand your learning into the financial planning, continue your learning into portfolio, predictive analytics, compliance automation, lead generation, and client acquisition. These are very independent of AI itself. The tools can help you to leverage that. But I would say all of those are really contingent upon the organization enabling those tools for a personal banker, financial advisor to leverage those tools to service their customers better.
So that leads the next sort of question too. Really is so. I mean, you and I have had these discussions about AI, and I'm trying to think of different innovative ways that people can play with the tools, right? Because we don't want them to be completely afraid of. I mean, using these kinds of tools can be beneficial to extract information. As for me as a marketer, right, as a sales and marketing professional, getting market research, getting inspired ideas for networking. Are there ways that a financial professional can play around with some of these tools without uploading data, without actually going against any kinds of privacy constraints or issues?
I would say at home you can and you should. At home you can and you should. While I was in the financial industry, I mean, I learned big data analytics. I learned about it and understand it, and then I make recommendations for my company and leverage that. You have a lot of banks that use. I'm gonna use not an endorsement at all. Salesforce is one of them. There are a lot of tools available to financial advisor in their own environment that use AI already. And again, keep in mind, AI has been in the financial industry, and Bank of America is very big with Erica using 37 million people interacting with the chatbots and virtual assistant to get things done. So AI itself is not a threat to the financial industry. It's when we get to talk about large language models, if you're talking about this specific component, if you're talking about deep learning, machine learning, those are the ones that it would be challenging to see a personal banker, a financial advisor to adventure themselves, like I said, going cowboy on their own in the banking environment that is so regulated. And the challenge to that, Leslie, it has to do with data security, because one breach can have huge impact, huge impact on the financial institution, let alone to the individual. You have cybersecurity risks, you have privacy regulations that you have to keep in mind. Nonetheless, AI itself, as an artificial intelligence component, is available in many tools already that bankers are using. It would be different from a marketer. As a marketer, you have access to all those tools that you can try. You do, try runs on your home computer. You can, you can access sandboxes from AWS to really test things out. A banker in their work environment, they do not have that luxury. Nonetheless, there are tools already enabled in their environment for lead generation, customer onboarding, customer profile. you have data analytics, you have predictive analytics. In other words, you may be shopping at Starbucks. The bank has AI tool that can, let's use, track you, see where you're spending your money, and then make a recommendation. You go to the store, to the lumber store, they can say, hey, we know you've been looking online that you want to remodel something. We can give you a line of credit, right? You have all those components are already enabled for the financial in the financial industry. So as a personal banker, financial advisor, as a banker in general, learn those tools, learn what you have in your environment. In addition to that, learn what you can do with those tools so that you can have the upper hand. Because the people who are going to do best in this environment, it's not necessarily people who know their work. It will be people who know their work and can leverage the tools to get it faster and to do it better.
Mm. Those are some great tips. So kind of piggybacking on that, what are the kinds of skills and training do you think that people in the financial services industry, how can they stay ahead of this of technology and this ever-changing world? It's ripe for disruption. We know that these learning language models, AI, is disrupting and it's going to affect even more change. As you said, it's been there for a long time. We're using technology. We're now taking photos of our banking statements as a user standpoint, but financial professionals, they need to be staying one step ahead so that they stay relevant in this crazy world we're living in, where we're all attached to our phones, our technology. How can professionals stay ahead with skills and training so that they stay relevant and that they're still building those human relationships?
Yes. So this is an excellent question. I would say, I'm not going to say do what I did when I was there, since I'm retired now, but I would say the following: technical skills. So the financial industry, as I mentioned, is has this whole spectrum from you being in the financial center where you are serving customers, you're seeing customers, you're dealing with customer data, to being in the back office handling from the operations, to being in the technology side itself. So you do have that spectrum. The folks that are in the technology side, I would definitely say you need to learn the technology. You need to learn basic coding, programming knowledge. You must have an understanding of those elements to really grasp what AI is doing this day, because you don't really need to know how to program. You need to be aware of it. I would say throughout the whole spectrum, some technical skills that everybody from front to back must have is data analytics and interpretation. Understand how to collect, analyze, and interpret data is going to be crucial for making informed investment decision and identifying trends. Now, keep in mind, whether you're using a different type of a large language models that is safe in your environment, you still have the hallucination aspect when it comes to those tools. So you knowing your job makes it even easier because you're gonna do your job on steroid. Financial technology literacy. Familiarize yourself with fintech tools. Fintech stands for financial technology. And platforms like robo advisors, CRM systems, and client portals. You really need to get some understanding of those, and also cybersecurity awareness. Those will be the technical components, because cyber threats, advisor must be vigilant about protecting sensitive client information. Just to give you a very simple example, when it comes to deep fake is really going to be the thing that we need to worry about. In 2022 alone, the FBI counted 21,800 instances of business emails fraud. That total approximately $2.7 billion in fraud. And one report found in 2023, deep fake incidents raised to 700%. 700%. And there was, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, one banker that received an email in Hong Kong, as a matter of fact. Well, as a matter of fact, that happened this year, in January this year. An employee at a Hong Kong based firm sent $25 million to a scammer after being instructed to do so by her chief financial officer on a video call that also included other colleagues. It turned out that was not the case. The chief financial officer was never there. So you need to have that kind of knowledge to understand, to recognize what different looks like. Now that's on the technical side. You do have what I would say continuous, what I would say the soft skills. You have continuous learning. This should be for everybody, wherever you are. Communication and interpersonal skills, critical thinking, problem solving, and also client education and advocacy. The trick to this, Leslie, as much as we have a lot of technology coming up, the key to be successful will be to learn more about human centered knowledge versus technical centered knowledge. So, the more you understand humans, the more you understand people, the more you understand how to conduct business to that value people, more likely you're going to be successful. And those technical skills, beside the one that I mentioned, the machine learning, deep learning, large language models, they're going to be so smart. You will not even need to understand what goes in the background, just how to use them. For instance, how to write prompt very well, how to use them to get to the answers that you're looking for so that you can service the customers that needs help from you.
Well, isn't that the goal? That's what we're hoping all this technology is supposed to help us do, right? I mean, when I think, Dr. Jimmy, it is like time has gone by so quickly, and insofar as not only just like where technology came from. I remember working in the .com industry in the late 90s and how email was supposed to make us more efficient in our jobs. And now, like, how many emails are we dealing with on a daily basis, right? Like this technology was supposed to make us make things much more simple and expedited and so forth. So in some ways, technology is going to disrupt. It's going to change the way that we're all doing business. And I think hopefully in this utopia that you and I hope that we're leading into is that this disruption is going to help systematize process and procedures in a way, as you said, that we're going to spend more time human to human. That's, I think, our utopian goal. Certainly we have all of the, wherever there's like the benevolence of where the future is going to go, we also have the malevolence of these deep fakes and people scamming and so forth. And I think finding that balance of being aware of the consequences of, as you said, data, technology, privacy, compliance, deep fakes, all of that stuff, and then blending that with, and yet this is going to allow the data analytics to provide better service offerings, to provide better customer service, to expedite things from a process and procedure standpoint that are hopefully going to make us more human to human. That's I think the utopia. I think that you and I are hoping for. Maybe we're being a little Pollyanna about it, but I certainly think that that's what we're hoping for, right? And that's why you specialize in what you do, is helping optimize human behavior so that they can become better leaders and so forth. So I know your time is very valuable. We're sort of a few seconds and so forth. So one of the challenges, Dr. Jimmy, as you set this challenge for me last week. I appreciate you jumping on board with me this week to talk, because your challenge to me was, Leslie, what are we doing? What are we doing for the fall of this year? And so you challenged me with starting to re-promote my program, the Elite Money Mastermind Masterclass for Women in Financial Services. And so that is a dedicated program. It's a 4-module program that is going to help women in financial services really start with a sales and marketing program, a turnkey program that's going to help them optimize their presence on LinkedIn and use all of these tools. And we'll have experts like you providing feedback and information or training to help them build a better book of business as well. So that's my challenge. And so your challenge now is to let us know a little bit about your offerings and where can people contact you, get in touch with you, and take the next steps to working with Dr. Jimmy Godard.
All right. Thank you so much, Leslie. Again, it was a privilege to join you here. I am very passionate about this. And for me, one of my goal, one of my calling is really to help managers and executives to lead with passion and purpose, to inspire their teams, and also to drive change. You can find me on globalcomposshub.com, globalcomposshub keynotesuccesshub.com. I'm also on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to connect. And I do a lot of public speaking, a lot of keynotes. Therefore, if you have an event coming up and you're looking for a keynote speaker that will speak on leadership, strategy, and technology, I am your guy. I will get your audience excited and fired up and ready to go. And in addition to that, I do a lot of executive coaching as well. So if you're a manager or an executive trying to really reach some goals that you have and you need some support, you need somebody to really walk you through that process for you to reach your goals. Feel free to reach out to me as well. My LinkedIn, I check my LinkedIn on a daily basis. You can reach out to me there. In addition to that, we do have, of course, three certification for project management office for PMO, which I'm very passionate about. Being a former project manager, program manager, portfolio manager, I understand how organizations need those tools, those skill set to really get things done. However, many organizations don't have a very viable PMO to support their project managers, to support their project team to get things done. I teach a 3 certification course from Agile PMO to Certified Baseline PMO to if you just get started in the PMO as a PMO stakeholder, you need to really get some understanding there. I have a certified uh, for newcomers for the PMO. So those 3 certification, if you just get started, if you want to be pretty much a very consultant season, or if you are dealing with Agile PMO, we offer those 3 services as well.
Amazing. I mean, you're training leaders, you're speaking at conferences, you've got courses, and I'm just going to, support Amy Riddell, who is our favorite conference organizer for the Project World, Project Management, BA World conferences. That's how we met, was through our lovely friend, Amy. And I would say absolutely, just like Amy says, Dr. Jimmy, you're the best. You're the best. You inspire
You're
me.
great.
Motivate me. I get so excited anytime I know that I'm going to be seeing you. So thank you so much for challenging me today to run this LinkedIn Live, to help me ladder up in my personal life, in my professional life. You are just the best. And thank you so much for spending time talking with me today.
Pleasure is all mine. Remember, do not postpone to tomorrow what you can do today. Just do it.
Just do it. I love it. I love it. All right, Dr. Jimmy, we'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye for now.